A long, long time ago it was, before people began to dwell in the sky. A terrible war was waged between us humans and the wicked god.
Hey guys, it's Connie here with a classic game review of a game with a fond place in my heart. Baten Kaitos, Internal Wings, and the Lost Ocean is a classic Gamecube exclusive RPG with a few minor puzzle elements. The story starts out straightforward, featuring a young boy with both one wing and a man-made winglet named Callus. The player takes the place of his guardian spirit, attacked by rock cats and inflicted with a bad case of amnesia. Obsessed with revenge for the murders of his grandfather and little brother, Callus ends up as the leader of the stereotypical group of misfit toys that join every RPG. From the dainty waif Shella to the battle-hardened Savina and the manly Gabari.
Damn!
Baten Kaitos' characters are believable and sympathetic. However, the fact that there are so many characters means it can be really hard to get close to all of them. And of course, like many RPGs, by the end of the game, I was relying on only 3 characters. Depressing, given the strength of their personalities. But the plot of the game is strong and does allow them some growth, even though I wish I could have focused on the group more. The game has a huge wham moment in the middle that completely shook me, and gameplay. Story is fantastic and wonderfully done. But as much as I love story, presentation was a huge sticking point for me. The voice acting was terrible. It literally sounded like the voice actors called into the studio and said, "I can't make it today, but hold the phone up to the mic, it'll be fine." There is literally not a single good thing I can say about voice acting. Everyone even pronounces names differently in the same scene. If there is one thing I can suggest to potential players, it would be to turn off the voices as soon as the game allows you. The art is quite beautiful, but there isn't much detail when it comes to the people themselves. And the islands you visit throughout the game are gorgeous and have their own personalities. The cutscenes are okay, but nothing to write home about. Overall, Baten Kaitos is okay with presentation. Its many good qualities almost overtaking the horrendous voice acting. Gameplay is highly unconventional, especially considering the time period it came out. It has a strange battle system based on cards called Magnus, which hold the spirit of items. Players can target weaknesses based on the enemy they're fighting and can set up strengths, pairs, triples, and many other poker-based combinations in order to raise the damage their characters inflict. It's a lot of fun, but there are 3 major issues that keep me from wholeheartedly supporting it. One is the fact you have to shuffle every few turns once you run out of Magnus cards in your deck. Yeah, your enemies do too, but it's an unnecessary break in the action I'm not really fond of. 2, you can't discard significant amounts of cards without being attacked. If you have a handful of defensive cards, you better hope the enemy targets you next, otherwise you won't be able to do anything for quite a while. And 3, you cannot pause the game unless you have battle summaries on, which I usually keep off because it does interfere with the action. After an unfortunate incident involving a fire alarm in the middle of a boss fight, I learned to keep the thing on. Yet, despite these issues, gameplay is incredibly fun, and pulling off a good combo can be exhilarating. Game design is decent, but nothing that really stands apart from other games in the genre. The biggest thing that annoys me is you can't use your wings at a battle. Cal still uses ladders like a dirt, ignoring the 2 completely functioning wings on his back. Still, that's more nitpicky than anything else, and there are several fantastic dungeons that were surprisingly satisfying to beat. The bigger problem is that you can only have 1 deck per character. That may not be an issue in an area with similar types of enemies, but when you fight enemies that are highly varied, it is extremely annoying to manually change your deck back and forth. Overall, it has some issues, but game design is still well done. Of course, a story-based RPG, there isn't much replay value. You don't even get to keep your cards or equipment from playthrough to playthrough. If you're looking for a game to play on your own in your spare time, that's fine. But Baten Kaitos will never be a party game or a game you'll feel compelled to beat more than once or twice. Overall, Baten Kaitos is a fantastic game that is worth a playthrough if you can find it. Its beautiful story and art makes up for some issues in the game that I consider enjoyable.